Consider the Mandarin particle 着. It describes a continuous state, or an action that accompanies another, like serving dishes with a smile.
Have you ever seen 着 after a Chinese verb and wondered what it actually means? Today, we're going to look at 着 and two important ways it is used in Mandarin. You'll see how 着 can describe a continuing state, and how it can also show that one action is happening when another action begins. Let's look at some real examples together.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping straight in because we've got something incredibly exciting for all you beginner learners out there. We're unlocking one of the most common, yet kind of tricky grammar points in Chinese. That's right. Today's absolute star of the show is the dynamic auxiliary word 着, pronounced with a light, neutral tone. If you've been listening to any everyday conversations, you've definitely heard this little word popping up everywhere. It's a total building block for getting comfortable with the language.
So, let's just dive right into this. We're going to break it down with some really simple, clear English explanations so you can immediately start using it in your daily life.
To keep things completely stress-free, here is our roadmap for today. We'll do a quick welcome, jump into the first usage, which is existence, cover the second usage about simultaneous actions, do a quick true or false practice, and finally wrap up with a summary.
Short, sweet, and to the point. By the end of this explainer, you are going to feel so confident using this.
All right, welcome to Chinese class. Let's learn together.
You know, grammar can definitely feel a bit intimidating, but honestly, just think of 着 as your trusty little helper word that you attach right to your verbs.
Let's get right into usage 1. Existence, showing a state of being. This one is all about describing a static scene. Think of it like looking at a photograph of a room. So this dynamic auxiliary is used to show existence. In everyday terms, it's exactly like saying an object is sitting somewhere, or maybe it is resting on a table, or hanging on a wall.
Exactly. You just take an action word, like to put or to place, and you literally freeze it in time. It shows the lingering results of that action. Someone put a book on the table, and now the book is just resting there. The action itself is over, but the state of the object keeps going.
Check out this sentence.
桌子上放着照相机.
This translates to, on the desk is placed a camera. See how 着 connects the action of placing with the camera itself?
Right, so picture this everyday scenario. You're frantically running around your apartment, digging through bags, looking for your camera because there's a gorgeous sunset you want to catch. Your friend who is perfectly calm points and says, hey,
桌子上放着照相机.
it's resting right there on the desk. It's just a perfect description of the camera's state.
Here is another great one.
草地上开着五颜六色的花.
On the grass are blooming colorful flowers. Imagine you're taking a super relaxing walk in a sunny park. You look around, taking in the scenery. Obviously, the flowers aren't actively jumping out of the dirt right in that split second. Instead, they are just existing in a beautiful state of bloom. So to give you a quick one-sentence summary for this first rule, use 着 right after a verb to describe where something is physically resting, sitting, or existing. Awesome. Let's move right into usage 2, simultaneous action, or when one action interrupts another. So, goodbye quiet parks and still rooms. Now we're looking at situations where you're right in the middle of doing something, and suddenly a second action crashes the party. This second rule means that while one action is going on, another one begins. In plain English, you're doing a thing and bam, something else happens.
And structurally, the way you build this is super unique. You actually repeat the first action word twice, and you stick 'za right after it both times. It creates this really cool rhythm. It's kind of like saying, while walking and walking, I tripped. Repeating it shows that the first action was ongoing.
Listen to the rhythm on this one.
他说着说着笑了起来.
He was talking and started to laugh. We have absolutely all been there. You're trying to tell your friends this hilarious story, but you are the one who finds it the most funny. So, right in the middle of talking, before you can even get to the punchline, you just crack yourself up. The action of talking is happening, and the action of laughing totally interrupts it. Or how about this highly relatable gem?
他听着听着忘了自己想说的话.
He was listening and forgot what he wanted to say.
Oh, this is literally me all the time. You're deep in conversation, you have this absolutely brilliant point lined up, but you're actively listening to the other person, and then, poof, your thought is completely gone. So, to summarize rule 2, when you repeat a verb with je twice, you're setting up the background action, rolling out the red carpet for a sudden new action to drop in.
Okay, time to practice. True or false? Let's test your knowledge. We're going to play a super quick game. We'll give you a scenario and a sentence, and you just have to decide if it's correct based on the 2 rules we just covered. Don't sweat it, we're doing this together. Here is question 1.
教室里坐着很多学生。
In the classroom are sitting many students. Is this usage true or false? Take a second.
Well, if you guessed true, you nailed it. This is a textbook example of our first rule, existence. The students did the action of sitting down, and right now they are in a continuous state of resting in that classroom. It's a perfect static scene.
All right, let's check out question 2.
看电视的时候，他们看着看着哭了。
While watching TV, they were watching and then cried. True or false? Take a moment to think.
The answer is emphatically true. This brilliantly shows off our second rule, simultaneous action. The ongoing background action is them watching the TV, and the sudden interrupting action is the crying. You can clearly hear the verb repeated twice with our star character.
We are at the summary and next preview. Seriously, great job today. You just successfully tackled 2 of the most essential uses for this grammar point.
Let's do a really quick wrap-up of these core concepts so they stick in your brain for good.
The crucial takeaway is just remembering these 2 distinct functions. Number 1 is existence, describing a state of being, like that camera resting quietly on a desk. Number 2 is simultaneous action, where one ongoing background action, like talking, is suddenly interrupted by another action, like bursting into laughter.
You totally crushed it today. And that brings us to our preview for the next explainer. Next time, we're tackling the infamous ba sentence structure. This is an amazing grammar tool used to indicate that an action is imposed upon certain people or things to make them move or change. It's literally all about manipulating objects and making things happen.
You are building such a solid foundation. Thank you so much for hanging out in our classroom today. Keep learning, keep practicing, and definitely keep an ear out for these structures in the wild.
For sure. And hey, think you've got Chinese verbs all figured out? Wait until next time when we introduce that ba sentence, a tool that flips the order of your sentences upside down to show how you manipulate the world around you. Are you ready for the challenge? Keep up the amazing work, stay curious, and we will catch you in the next explainer.
Chinese grammar can feel confusing when one little character has several different functions. But once you understand the pattern and see it in context, it becomes much easier. If you'd like to practice Mandarin with me, you can book a trial lesson on Preply. The link is in the description. And don't forget to subscribe for more practical Chinese grammar, expressions, and culture. See you in the next lesson.